All right, so officially, welcome to you all and a very good evening. We are here to speak about the class notebook. Well, being a teacher requires a lot of gathering, organizing, and distilling of information. OneNote is a smart and easy way to organize the school year, and it's a boundless activity in that one digital notebook. But before I go ahead and begin discussing about OneNote, let me first thank you all and all the 75 educators who actually had took time out of their schedules and on that too during their summer vacations to join our summer Pathshala. If in case any of your colleagues or friends have missed out the first virtual classroom, we would request you to please catch on the recording. During this session, my uh, partner Jyoti will be sharing the link to the recording, and you may share it as widely as you want. Help people, just view it, let them learn from it, and let's just spread the word. And in case more people want to register, they are most welcome to register. And today we are doing our second session that's on class notebook. Also, a special mention to all those who've gone all out there on the social media. I know I have seen loads of posts on Facebook. I've seen so many on Twitter. I've seen some on Yammer too. So thank you so very much. Please continue to evangelize. Our hashtags go by hashtag classroom diversity, which is right there in front of you right now, and a hashtag MIE expert. And you could mention us over there. Like I told you last time, I'm Meenakshi Oberoi, and I go with a handle at Meenakshi Oberoi. Jyoti is with at Jyoti Chaba, and you could even include at the Pedagogics. So let's begin today's session by introducing ourselves once again. I will be the presenter and the moderator, and Jyoti too will be the presenter and moderator today. So we will be sharing some of the slide decks with you. I have already introduced myself in the last session. Still a very quick one. I'm a MI fellow and a MI master trainer and founding director of Deep Pedagogics.
Hi, I'm Jyoti Chaba. Welcome you all. A very, very warm welcome to all the 42 participants. We are here, and I'm sure many of you will be coming in on, many of you will be coming in again on next and another sessions. Thank you so much for coming in. Most welcome.
Please keep posting your questions into the chat window. Our eye is going to be on the chat window. Your comments, your questions, your queries are most welcome over there. So without further ado, let's begin today's session. We'll be talking about OneNote for teachers for you today. Why should we talk about OneNote? Well, it is for teaching and learning, and it is to stay organized, deliver curriculum, collaborate, and create interactive lesson plans. Microsoft OneNote is an indispensable teaching tool. Think of it as a digital notebook with unlimited potential to collect subject materials, thoughts, and details throughout the day and help you easily organize and store and find them. Well, finding, I know, is always a challenge with documents, so I promise to get back to you on how to make it easier for you to find your documents. Now, the content you work with is easier to find, use, and share. The vast amount of information is teacher must gather and arrange to conduct a school year can be both inspiring and overwhelming. OneNote gives teachers the ideal place to store the myriad resources and materials in a single, easy-to-use, organized location. I must pause here to actually appreciate that the kind of usage that we see is beyond description. Therefore, I'm going to start with a video. I understand that the audio quality might not match what you might get at the other end, but I would request you to please be patient and hear what you can, right? And thank you. The audio quality is good, is what Neeta has said. Thank you, Neeta. And here we go. Well, yes, all that is what OneNote can do for you. I understand that some of you could not see or hear the video. Like I said before, it is your internet speed and your bandwidth which might interfere with it. Kindly bear with us. Again, the recording will come to you. Going back to Microsoft, One Notebook. The One Notebook is a digital notebook that provides a single place where you can gather all your notes and information, with the added benefit of powerful search capabilities to find what you're looking for quickly, plus ease to use shared notebooks so you can manage information overload and work together with others more effectively. While working in a school environment, I know you have so many of documents, so much of data to organize and to put it together that it becomes virtually very difficult for you to find documents within minutes or seconds. But here's a tool which can actually manage all that for you. But before I get into the details of what OneNote is, let me try and tell you where do you get it. Well, it's a tool that is available to you free of cost. You may visit OneNote.com. That's why I had rested this here on your screen. It says OneNote.com. You can go there and download OneNote Notebook, which will be free of cost for you. And it's hardly it hardly takes time. So once you've downloaded, if you have a simple Outlook account, the way you open your mail, it's right in front of me, right in front of you, and this is my mailbox. So what I need to do is I need to go to the cluster of dots which we have pulled down, which will pull you all your suitcase of all the tools. Thus, you can actually locate your OneNote notebook here. Let's say you have an Office 365 account. Well, similarly, sign into your account, and this is where you will find the Office 365. Next to Office 365, you'll have the cluster of dots, and you can pull that down. You'll not only find your OneNote online, but also a class notebook. I hope that is clear enough. And I am going to take you now, before I go over here, I need to show you where to find it in your system. Now that you've visited the website, downloaded it, you know where it lies online, how do you access it offline? I'm going to share my screen now so that I can actually show you what I'm doing. It'll take just about a minute. Okay, I think you can see my screen. So this being my start button, I'm going to the start button, and you can see it right here because I pinned it here. Else, what you do is you go to all apps. Now here all your apps are organized alphabetically. So you scroll down to O, because you have your OneNote lying over here. So you may right click and find your options to pin to start, or more options wherever you want to pin it, and you may very quickly open it from here, or if you've pinned it enough, then I'm going to open it from here. So when I say this, now my OneNote notebook opens up something like this. Once it opens up, what you will notice is it will show all the notebooks that I already have. Therefore, okay, these are the notebooks that I already have. If I scroll this down, it'll actually show me the notebooks which I have created till date. But since I'm going to show you one from the scratch, I will go to File and go to New and make a new one just for you. Here are the locations where I can store my OneNote notebook. OneNote notebook can be stored at many locations, given it your OneDrive location or other web locations, or on your PC, or you could even add a place or browse for a place to store. Let's say right now I'm storing it in my OneDrive. I'll give this today's name. Let's say I'm going to give it Class Notebook Session. And I'm creating a notebook. Invite people? Not now. Okay, so this is what my OneNote notebook screen looks like. If you recall a diary, whenever you have to take notes in the classroom, what you do is you keep a diary with you, and that diary will have various sections, and you would, put post-its to make various sections, and then you'll have more pages within those sections. So that's how you organize your pen and paper diaries, right? So this is exactly like that. This is like your digital diary. What runs on top are your sections. This already is a section, and I can add more sections by just clicking on this, and I can keep adding, and what you will notice is that each time I add a section, it gives me a new color. So this is exactly like your regular diary. So this is a section. Let's say here I'm going to type introduction. So I really want to put all my introduction docs here today, and I will title this page. To title this page, I'm going to say hello, and I can keep adding more pages from here, and as per my needs, I'm going to organize my pages here. Taking you back to the presentation. Let me show you once you have the OneNote notebook. What all is it that you can do with OneNote? Jyoti, over to you for this.
Okay, so OneNote makes it very easier for you to use it. It's basically use it anywhere, anytime, any place. So once your stuff travels with you on your computers, it could be either a tablet or a phone or your computer, anything, you can use it. Once you log into that system, either a tablet or a phone or a computer, it's your device. So you start working right then and there. You can start collaborating, you can work together, get things done with your friends, family, classmates and colleagues. You are working in a team with teachers, so you are trying to collaborate, to create worksheets for your team, for your class. So it's very easy to collaborate without emailing each other, without wasting time emailing. So you can co-create documents sitting in your home or your school or anywhere else till you have a device to sign in on OneNote, and also to keep everything together in one place. That makes it very, very simple, because otherwise we are all losing our documents, sometimes on C drive, sometimes on desktop. So we kind of sometimes lose control over it. So this is a very effective tool to keep everything together at a glance on one desktop, totally on one screen. It could be any format. It could be a PowerPoint. It could be a audio note. It could be a video note, anything. So that makes it very simple. You can just, import anything, a Word file. All your lesson plans can be one. So that we will come to it later in more detail, but this is just to tell you that all your documents are in one place so that you just don't lose it. It makes it much more simpler for you, right?
Yes, absolutely. It is the central flexible digital resource to help keep you productive. And in this course, we'll cover everything you need to get started using this powerful note-taking software from Microsoft. We'll begin with a quick overview of OneNote and what is it and how you can improve your productivity using this tool. In no time at all, you will be creating your own OneNote digital notebooks with sections, pages, sub-pages, and of course notes. Well, if it seems too far right now, let me tell you it's just about a few minutes away, because what I would suggest is alongside you should actually be opening up a OneNote notebook and working along or taking notes somewhere. Well, then I'll show you how to get all kinds of existing content into your notebooks, like your text, images, audio, video, even other files like Excel spreadsheet. But first, well, gather as you go. What do you gather? Well, you can grab many types of digital content and file them into your OneNote notebook. Like I said, photos, videos, student handouts, lesson plans, and other content that could help improve your students' learning outcomes can live in one centralized, organized place. Isn't that a blessing? Yeah, I can hear so many yeses. Gather as you go. You can grab many types of digital content and file them in your OneNote notebooks. Again, it could be anything. It could be Anything from your web clips to your, and it could range from anything. And you can organize your work by class, by subject area, by month, or however it makes sense to you, honestly. Collaborate very conveniently. If you work with a teaching team or have student work groups, OneNote is perfect for collaboration. You can brainstorm with teachers over the school network. Everyone can view, edit, and each other's notes in real time. Of course, the rights lie with you. It really depends on you how much of rights or how many rights or to whom all would you want to give the rights to view or edit that very notebook. So when the session ends, the group actually leaves with a complete copy of same notes. No more photocopying, no more running corridors and floors, I must say, to actually get your notes photocopied. Isn't that a boon? Well, to some. Thus, in a nutshell, OneNote can be used for writing, reading, arithmetic, visually representing your ideas, draw in color, tables and to-do list, feel like writing on paper, text from images, math equations, web clips, linked documents, collaboration, absolutely available anywhere across any device. It's actually not wrong to say that I would consider this Microsoft's hidden gem. Well, I think I've twisted your thoughts enough and it's time to rewind. With so much to cover, let's get started with OneNote essentials. Let's first do an anatomy of OneNote Notebook.
All right. So first, what you see is on your left side, it says, think of this as a bookshelf, You see the spines of your notebook right here on the left side. All the colors you can see on the left side, the arrow showing the left side is showing you all the spines, like all the tabs. And these are the sections. On the top arrow, which is pointing downwards, the purple arrow and the blue arrow, these are the notebook sections. And with each section, there are pages on the right side. So on your right side, if you can go again, it's like all the pages are listed. So you can either add a page, delete a page, rename a page, anything can be done. And each section can have as many pages as you want. So I'll just go again. On the top are the sections. On the right are the pages, whatever you want to add in each section, just like any other diary.
So I'm going to actually show you OneNote Notebook lesson plan, because then it'll make all the more sense to an educator. Now that I have my classbook notebook session over here, what do I do next? What is it that will help me create my lesson plan? I'm going to share with you one of the lesson plans that we have created. It's a project and this was done over weeks, and it was called the Great Cleanup Plan. You would have heard of the Swachh Bharat Abhiyan. This is actually a project from the Swachh Bharat Abhiyan, which was awarded a gold status by Microsoft. And this is what I do to the notebook. What we do is the first section actually is basically your landing page, and this landing page will have links to all the sections in this notebook. So it actually gives you an overview of all the sections that are there in this notebook. Once I click on this, this will give me a project overview. It will give me the overview of a plan. Well, the overview of a plan looks something like this. Once I click over there, I come over here. This is the data that I have pasted. Then it will take you next to the lesson plan. What you need to notice here is the lesson plan is not only laid out like this or printed like this or pasted like this over here. It is also available as a Word document for the teachers to download and use. If you look at this entire notebook, this is like a project plan, and the project plan very carefully has an overview, has a lesson plan, it has curriculum integration, it shows you reference material, it takes you to resources, and in resources I want to bring your attention to the kind of documents that we have kept over here. There is a PDF, there is an audio file, there is a Word document, there is a PowerPoint, and you can even embed your video files. Thus, these are the resources that were used during this plan, and then each grade has its own space to write what they did in there during this project. Finally, we have the cleanup day, the day this entire project came to a culmination. The collage over here you made using the auto collage, which is again a free tool from Microsoft. This collage actually tells you what was happening in each corner of the school, and this video gives you a glimpse of what happened during this project. Not only that, what you see here are the assessment rubrics. Well, yes, I know so many eyes would roll over this because CCE rubrics have been embedded over here, and these can be used by the teachers directly. All they need to do is they need to open up this document that's provided to them, this spreadsheet that's provided to them, and they can actually keep all their records here. So according to this model, we used OneNote to create and save page templates to use the customized learning plan for each child. And for each grade. So teachers keep the same structure and add features needed for their lesson. So templates are used basically to plan each of the class levels learning progression. What I would actually also encourage you to do is do this, or I'll show you actually how to do this with me. While I'm doing this, the next section I would say would be my lesson plan. Let's say my lesson plan rests in this entire system of mine. I'll go to Insert, go to File, and attach my lesson plan here. Let's say this is my lesson plan. I get two options to insert my lesson plan. I can either attach the file or do an insert printout. Let's try an insert printout. I know it is going to take slightly longish, but I would love to take that risk of showing it to you online, because then seeing is believing. That's what I totally believe by. So while it inserts, let me tell you that similarly you can insert a PowerPoint, you can insert Excel, you can insert PDF, you can insert absolutely any type of file that you would be working on over here. What it'll do is it'll print the entire or paste the entire document here. Also, it'll make available the Word document or the PowerPoint available in a downloadable format for the teacher. So this is going to take just about a few seconds to happen. Till then, let me run you through the rest of the ribbon. You can directly paste file printouts using this icon. The first icon, the top ribbon actually looks like what you use in Microsoft Word or Microsoft PowerPoint. There, it has happened. So this is the Word document that has gotten pasted, and the printout will just come up. It'll take about a few, like I said, it's still loading it. It'll just take about a few minutes to load. And there you go. So this is what the plan looks like. So once this plan goes out to the teachers, it's very easy for them because this is like a ready referral for them. So here's the ready referral, and there is a document for the teachers to download to. There is something more that I can do to it. What this has done is this had different pages. Therefore, this has done is it has gone to different pages and pasted my document on different pages. The main document lies on the first page. So my entire plan overview is here, and the rest of the pages over here will have the rest of the data. Let me go here and say assessment. I want to keep my assessment rubrics over here, or I want to insert an Excel sheet. Either I can insert an existing one just the way I showed you for the Word document, or I can insert a new Excel sheet. What it'll do for me is it's going to give me a table which is actually an Excel sheet ready, an active Excel sheet in which I can straight away start working. It's as simple as that. Once I click edit, it's going to open up my spreadsheet for me. I can punch in my numbers or my data or my criteria over here. Let's say listening skills, and let's say reading skills. So I'm going to punch in, let's say student 1 got a score of 5, next one got a score of 6, or let's say 4, and let's say here again a 5, which was like writing skills. And I want to see a total score. All I need to do is, you know what you need to do. This is how you get the score. So let's say I have recorded today's observations. I'm just going to save it and I'm going to close it. And what you will see is in no time that data will be recorded over here and it's accessible. And this is like an active spreadsheet which will remain like my data keeping or my record keeping for the whole year. So just imagine that for a whole year you have a whole sense of how to roll this data, how to record this data, and you're creating student portfolios. Now, these student portfolios, when we talk about e-portfolios, there are about 6 elements that are on our mind. One, it should be digital because it has to be dynamic. If it has to change, we have to have the flexibility to change it. Then it needs to include learning evidences. It's super easy, just the way you saw in my other notebook. Let me take you back over there. The Great Cleanup Drive. What you saw over here were evidences. Yeah. So what you saw over here were evidences. So this is like my project portfolio. Then it has to possess structural content and the student's reflection on the process. All of that is captured, taking another sheet because this project is still ongoing. The reflections are yet to come in. What it should also demonstrate is it should showcase my students' work. If you double click on this video, this actually holds all the work that my students have been doing. Apart from that, each grade will be depicting their own work here in the form of a video, in the form of pictures, in the form of audio clippings, the way they want it. Going to audio clippings. Let me show you something really versatile. Now that I've seen that my students are doing something absolutely awesome over here, and I know each grade has worked very well, every teacher wants to leave a voice note. It's super simple. When you press on the word record audio, what it does is it starts recording your voice. And as long as you're speaking, it'll keep recording your voice and it'll hold all your voice notes and your recordings. So if I want to leave a comment for these children, I would say, wow, awesome, good job done. So you know that can be easily taken care of over here. Okay, so, and my audio settings would actually be right now be with Skype. So I'm not going to disturb that, but I'm just trying to play this for you. Oh, I'm sorry, this is actually playing the video. Yeah, so when I go to insert and, oh my God, okay. And I say record video, you will actually be able to see me because it's going to start recording what I'm speaking. It's actually recording right now. So wonderful kids and awesome. I would love the way you work. Look at the sincerity and the honesty with which you're working. Let me stop this and play it back for you and play. That was me and it is not very comfortable to see yourself on screen. So yeah, so that's how your audio recordings or your video recordings will stay over here and they can be shared with the students because this notebook is going to be shared with the students with just a click of share. Coming to sharing, let me first see if I have left anything. I'll take you back to my presentation to see what we are going to talk about next. How to start using OneNote Notebook. I have displayed this for you. I have done all of this. Once again, take a look at the basic OneNote Notebook structure. This is like a recap.
Yeah. Okay, so first of all, where it's certain basic addition, that's like a name of the page. So whatever name you say, this page, this automatically will come on the right side on the tab where you can see basic addition. You can see basic addition on the top, and on the right side tab you can see basic addition as well. So whatever you type here will go on the right side. That's the name of your page. And the section which you can see on the top, like math homework, English, science, social studies, the moment you click a tab, you can also name them. It's always a blank there when you add a section, so you can name whatever section you want to. Also, then you can, wherever you click, you can just click the cursor and you can start typing there. It could be anywhere on the screen. It's not that you have to start from the left, right, top, bottom. Anywhere you click, you can start typing. That's the beauty. Wherever you want to put a comment, anywhere you're doing a student checking, you're checking your students' work, you can just put a comment right next to the end of the line. You want to give a feedback to your students, you can put a comment right then and there by just clicking your mouse there. Okay, so you can also save anything on the web to OneNote in one click. If you want to just, you just go to on the website and you want some information, on to come on your OneNote, you can just go you can just have a screenshot and then bring it to OneNote. You go to insert, and then there's an option for from websites, and then you can just have a screenshot and bring it to OneNote. That's how easy it is.
I think we'll show you that on screen because it's so super easy that it'll not take more than a click to do that. So while this is my screen, no, let me go back to the notebook that I was working with you. Okay, so this is your notebook. That was my space. Okay, let's say I need some information, or let's say I need some screen clips here. So let me call it screen clips. I'll go to insert and I will go to screen clipping. So what it'll do is it'll take me to my last screen, whatever I was browsing, whatever I was looking at. I'm just going to drag drop, and there you go. And what it is going to do is it's going to store information about where I got this information from. Also, let me show you something more. Let's say you were looking up education 2016. So when you bring it up, it'll take you to, let's say, Education Nation. So if I go into Education Nation and I like some information from there, all I have to do is I have to let this space rest here. Okay, and I like the way this picture has come in. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a screen clipping, going to come back here, and I want to save it for browsing later. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take the screen clipping, and it's going to stay here along with the URL from where I have picked this. It is that awesome. So I don't need to remember the websites that I have been visiting. It's actually going to remember the websites that I visited. It's going to keep record of where did I get this information from. What is most important is when children are actually doing research work, this is the most important tool, because there is no need for bibliography or for any kind of record keeping for where I went and from where did I get this. Super easy to insert your videos. You like a YouTube video? Let's say you like a YouTube video which was something like this. I will pick this from here and I will take it here and paste it, and it's going to insert that video over here. So my children no more need to go to the World Wide Web and browse the web. All they need to do is I can drag and drop. Or did you see what I do? What I did was I just dragged and dropped. This is like a free space for you, so you could do anything that you want with this window. I can take it anywhere on the screen. Let's say I want to clip it next to this picture, so I could do that. So this is absolutely important when I'm writing notes for my students. And let's say I want to see say please view this and leave a comment. So I could be dragging this window anywhere on the screen to say on top, on bottom, on the side, and people can actually start typing in their views over here. They can straight away from here start viewing this very video, and they do not need to visit the web. What they do need is an internet connection. Therefore, we don't let our students go on the World Wide Web anymore, and we can actually gather and start working right from here. Is that useful? Give me a scream in the chat window if you're liking it or if you're not liking it, or what's the best feature that you have seen till now, and let me catch your breath over there. Awesome. You know what? Your thumbs up and your comments just keep us going. Actually, you keep me going. Do you remember my hashtag? That is hashtag you keep me going. You love screen clippings? Oh, thank you. We love them too. That's why we are here to share all of them. Yeah, the video drag and drop is super easy and super good. Awesome. Thank you. Thank you. And keep that coming. Our eye is still on this window, and I'm going to take you back to our presentation and let's talk ahead. So like I said, Hunt and gather. Keep OneNote open on your PC desktops. Organize sections by class, subject, research, or however you like. Then clip and collect and copy articles, photos, videos, and research as you come across it. Now it's all in one place. I don't need to visit places to do that anymore. Create and manage with your digital content within reach and organized in OneNote. You can quickly sort PowerPoint presentations, find student handouts, and manage school activities, and so much more. Well, you can make your OneNote notebook as rich as you want it to be. Well, it could be as versatile as you want it to be. Find notes very fast. Simply enter the search term and OneNote will quickly group the results by category and highlight the term in yellow to easily find content from a photo or lesson notes. Let me show that to you. Because that's such a wonderful feature, I love showing it off. Let me find a word. Let's say I'm going to find Australian. Okay, I'm going to find the word Australian. So what it's going to do is it's going to search my entire notebook and it's going to, where did it go? It went into another notebook to find. I want this to find it here and I say, oh, see, it says recent pics, 9 ways. There is a word Australian hidden here and 2 on this page. Therefore, it's giving me all the pages, all the notebooks. So it's not only one. When you have so many notebooks that you cannot even count them, well, just like this, I love showing it off, and you can actually look at the whole range of notebooks. And these are still not all, because there are still some who are just available online for me right now. So if I have all of those and I need to find out, it's super easy for me to find out. And I hope this is going to be a blessing in your lives too. Clip and collect to engage. Like I said, you could even clip side by side. How would you do that? Well, to slide OneNote onto the right of your screen, look above the View tab up in the ribbon. Well, you can see the View tab over here. Okay, and click on the Dock to Desktop icon. Well, then open your internet to the left and search for multimedia contents to engage your students using Bing. Clip and collect content to engage your students, and a lot of teachers tell us they like to keep OneNote open on the computer throughout their teaching day. Obviously, it is your to-go place. It is one place which is holding all your content. Therefore, you might want to keep it open all day. When we were presenting, you would have noticed that some of our pages had some different rulings or ruled lines, or I'll show you. In fact, why talk? Let's show. Let's say this is my section and I want to create a notebook over here and I want my students to have ruled lines. I have the option of creating ruled lines like this, some wider ones, or even a graph or a math notebook or big boxes for those young little children. Thus, I have and none. And here I have a blank page. So these are some of the templates that are available to you, and you could actually be creating notebooks of various subjects within this one notebook. Yeah, I'm sorry, I cannot really give you a control right now, but let's move on. Okay, what you're looking at right now is basically another OneNote notebook which actually has group projects, papers and exams, group project outline, a student's paper, it's his presentation, the web search. So this is the way we organize our information. Group project outlines are given to students. And what is most wonderful is the moment I say view, I go to view on the top ribbon and say view show authors, it actually shows me who has written this data. More clear in this one. If you see, I have the student pages. Now, when my students are working in groups, all of them work together collaboratively and they put in data together. While they are doing that, I need to know who did how much. So this is one which way of saying, knowing who did what. So if you can see, it gives you the initials, first initials of the first name and the last name. So it's an OT and an MT and an OT. So that's how you come to know who's done what. Let's say this is a third grade project wherein a student has been given directions. This is a student's notebook to do that. And the directions have not only been given as the write-up, but you've also given us audio notes. Now, what comes to my mind looking at this is actually inclusion. This is catering to my special education needs children. This is a boon for children who do not like to read too much text. This is a boon for students who would like to quickly hear it from me. What is it that I want to do so that I can get going? So here's a little audio note that has been embedded in this, and the student has an option to either read or actually choose from the directions or look at or hear my directions out. This tool that I'm going to show you now is an absolute boon in our lives, and also is a kind of a magic that we create on screen. Well, converting hand-drawn shapes into perfect looking shapes while inking. How do you do that? I'm going to do that, exactly that for you. Okay, so this is my blank OneNote Notebook page. This is a page within a section where I'm going to draw. Therefore, let's do the basics first. Always name your section, otherwise you wouldn't be able to find it. And what I'm going to do over here is I'm going to use a freehand tool. So that's the name of my page. While I type here, what you can see is it will automatically reflect over here too. So I don't need to have to duplicate my handwritings. Once done, it's done. Now look at the top ribbon and I go to draw. Well, with as wiggly as my hand can be, I'm going to give this an attempt. So please do pardon my bad handwriting and my wiggly handwriting. But these are the options that I have for, these are the options that I have for drawing. Let me try and pick a medium-sized pen. Let's say I'm writing my name. Oh my God, that was like absolutely bad. Absolutely not acceptable by a teacher. Any teacher sitting over there must be saying, oh my God, thank God she's not in my class. Well, yes, thank God I'm not in your class. Let me just write it till here. It's a little painful because it's a very long name. I wish I had written Jyoti's name over here. Right, Jyoti? Yeah, okay. So what I'm going to do is, that's how the handwritings work. But I know there are teachers like you who wouldn't like my handwriting. Therefore, Microsoft has been very kind to us. Just select this entire thing that you want to work. Okay, let's say this is what I want converted. The rest you can read. All I have to do is click on ink to text and it's going to convert into, oh my God, what did it read? My handwriting was like really bad. Okay, so that's how it converts your handwriting. But once you start working on it, it is that intuitive that it starts recognizing your handwriting and it starts converting your handwriting into the way you're writing. So it starts actually recognizing that I am Meenakshi and please recognize me. So you could do anything. You could draw a square. Not bad. And you could select this and let's say, let me try this. Ink to math. Can you believe that? That's like a preview. It says I've written a 0. Isn't that awesome? Because it's recognizing my awkwardly written 0 too. So all I have to do is say insert and it'll take up my handwriting. Magic, magic, magic. Isn't it magic? Yes, well, it is totally, absolutely magic. So draw in color. Visually represent your ideas by drawing freehand and coloring. So there are color options. You could be converting your shapes if your hand is not as wobbly as me. So you could be converting shapes and you could be having perfect math figures to work with, or even English. I would say you would be working your figures also along with. So you can write wherever you want in OneNote Windows Store app and Office Notebook 2013 and 16 using a stylus or your finger, depending if you have a touch screen, or are you typing, or are you just moving your hand over the touchpad that you have on your laptops. And let's say this is my handwriting. So you could actually, excuse me, you could choose the window over here. So what you could do is you could choose this to say, convert to text. So into text looks something like this. I had captured this earlier at an earlier moment for you. You could even convert shapes. And all the math teachers here, there is magic over here, because you write an equation, and the moment after the equation you write equal to sign and press a space bar, you're going to get the answer. Well, yes, students don't need that answer, but sometimes it's of help when the student wants to work all by himself. Let me show you this one, because this is going to help. We already have a 0 there, and if I say 4 minus 2 plus, okay, no, it didn't take a minus 2 plus 5, and I say equal to, and I press the space bar, it should give me an answer. Okay, wait, let me just try and do this again. Okay, I'm going to do a 4 plus 5 equals to space bar. There you go. So that's how you write equations and you work with math worksheets. This is especially useful when children want to do some self-assessment. They want to try out, let's say, if you give them out a number, let's say you say, make 100 for me. So they would try various permutations and combinations to make 100 for you. So this is a very good way in which they will be working with themselves. They don't need to come and consult you. They will be working with themselves on these tools. Apart from this, you can keep doing any of these things. You could be working on geometry, you could be working on angles, and the students can try it with their stylus if they have a touchpad. Or they could be solving one-step inequalities, or with multiplications, division, and so much. And can you notice, please do not miss that we have a screen over here which is actually boxed, which looks like a math notebook. So you're not taking away the joy of working on a math notebook while you do that. Here's yet another example for you. Working with coordinates and coordinate planes would actually need a graph. So you have a graph sheet, you could work on those quadrants, and it's super easy. Again, if two children are working together, all you need to do is go to show view, show authors, and you will know exactly who is working on what. I'm going to pause here because I want but before I pause, let me tell you that till now we have only shown you examples from mathematics. We will be showing you examples from other subjects too, but I'm going to pause here to see if there is any question in the room that needs to be answered. For the science diagrams, you asked for it, and we have it for you. Is that science enough for us? Well, yes, definitely. Plant cell is definitely science enough for us. So this diagram has actually been made not using a touch screen, but a touchpad, and you could actually make, well, this is not that bad because this is not really regular shapes. So definitely I can make this right now on my screen, and I would encourage each and every one of you after this to try this tool, because this tool has worked like a boon in our classes. Look at the labeling. So all you do is you do the drawing tool, you use the drawing tool to draw the diagram, and then you use to insert shapes, you can use arrows, and then you can actually type to label the diagram. You could even be writing with your hand if you're very good with freehand writing. So you could be doing that in a super easy way. And here's another one for you. This notebook is like this is like writing, this is an English plan where you're writing a haiku. So you give the students this picture and you tell them that you write a haiku that shows the reader the imagery below. So when we tell our students, imagine, there's a waterfall and there are mountains and there's a plateau and the waterfall's creating some noise, and you want to let your students write a poetry. What we normally tell them is we make them close their eyes, let them feel it, and then start writing. But before that, if somebody's not really reached there because of his or her own frame of mind, here's a picture which can help you write a poem, which can help you describe. So this is like a picture which is a ready reckoner right in front of you, and you can keep writing looking at this one. Isn't that really awesome? I think that's a really awesome tool. Text from images. Again, all the scans that you have done till now, the images that you have taken up, what is most awesome is that you can actually use that text, modify that text to make it more relevant for your class. So let's say you've picked up a clipping which is from a newspaper which is not from India. So let's say you've picked it up from the Herald, or let's say you've picked it up from the New York Times, and you want to make it, let's say, Times of India or Hindustan Times. You could actually manipulate that text. It's that easy. I think I've already shown you this feature, but what I must tell you right now is that it can help writing equations, and these equations are pre-fed. Some are pre-fed and some you can feed, which you can keep ready. Again, these can also be your not math writing over here, but if you use other tool, that is if you take the rule pages, or if you take a blank page and you want to write a chemistry equation, you can give it to children. You can write physics formulas and give it to students. Why not? Because it's actually going to do all of that for you. Easy tables, like I showed you, it works exactly like your Word document or your PowerPoint. So you can insert tables, you can manipulate those tables, you can have all the features that you enjoy in Word or PowerPoint or Excel to insert the table. All of them are available to you over here. How do you send this? Now, okay, there is another awesome thing. Before I share with you how to share this, let me show you something absolutely awesome. When you go to click on file and then go to send, what you will see is you can actually directly send it to your blog. So you can actually do blog hosting. Many of the teachers have come back to us asking us whether their students' blogs can be made using any of the Microsoft tools. I would say let the students work here. When their final product, let's say I just showed you an example of haiku, and you want to print those haiku poems into your blogs, you want to blog them up, why not? So you straight away send them from here to the blog pages, wherein you will have to feed the blog address beforehand, go into admin and do that, go into the account to do that, but you can actually host it straight away from here. So no more copy pasting, no more going to the web, opening up your blog and pasting. From here you can straight away publish to your blog. I think I've already spoken about the web clips. Insert a web clip and never forget its address. That's how it reflects. If you've picked up something from the web, what you see at the base of the picture is that the address has been displayed. Last but not the least, while you're collaborating, share your notebooks with peers and students and how to collaborate. Again, go to File, say Share. Let me actually show you how to do this, because this is like super easy, but normally the super easiest of the things is what is most difficult to find. So here when you click on File, it'll give you a whole menu. You go to Share. You could be sharing this with people. You could be sharing this within a meeting. You don't want it to go beyond your classroom. You could be sharing it within your meeting. And the access to the student stays only till you are meeting them. So the moment you withdraw, or the moment the timing for the meeting are over, this access is going to be taken away from them. So they cannot make changes. So all of those who of you are looking at e-assessments, this is a blessing. Or you could even share it with a link. Let's say you don't want your children to straight away access any of the documents, but you want the parents to help students access those documents. So this is one way in which you can give them view only or editable links. So it's up to you, the way you want to share it, the rights that you want to give students or parents on it. Sometimes you share some data where the only purpose that you have for that day is basically sharing of the document to view it and read it before you come the next day. So that's all you can do. Let's now move on to using OneNote in the doc to desktop view and put all your documents required in your class at one place. That's how you actually organize your day. So whatever you want to use that day, since you have your whole year's planning now that you've spent a year with OneNote, you will have heavy OneNote notebooks with all kinds of reading material, all kinds of writing worksheets and linked documents. So how do you organize that? Well, you organize that by selecting those very pages or those very sections and then docking them to the desktop, and so that you're able to access them very quickly when you need them. I've already spoken to you about stationery, so this is how you choose your stationery. Oh, what I forgot to mention was the page color. Well, yes, it is as versatile as giving you the color of your choice too. And when I say authors, this says right now hide authors. This is exactly where you need to click to say show authors. So you could hide authors back also. It's super simple to even tag the notes. So you have these various symbols which you can use to tag these notes so that it's super easy for you to remember what will you link where. This is when you're doing loads of work on these OneNote notebooks and you have loads of data, you would want to tag to recognize that, wherever the symbol is tomorrow, if you have to find out, it's simple tagging that will help you. I think I've already talked to you about this, but I'll give you about a minute to absorb this again. This is again a recap for you as to how to insert files as printout. All right, so recaps done and everything, almost everything shown. I'm going to stop presenting here and I'm going to tell you that I think it was information overload if nothing else, if I would be telling you any more about OneNote Notebook. Therefore, this is your chance to actually start using OneNote Notebook. Here's your chance to use your OneNote Notebook. I'm going to send you a link of a OneNote Notebook wherein you will be working on your assignments. Yes, I have not forgotten to talk about your assignment. You have already viewed, you've already seen the first session or viewed it till now if you weren't here. So you have already viewed it till now. If you haven't, you have your chance to view it because we've already shared links to those that session in various social media. It's available on Yammer, it's available on Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn, wherever you want to go. And once again, I'm going to share my screen to show you what your assignment is. And before, as I do that, let me tell you that I'm going to send you again a link of this notebook for you to work on. Okay. Here, this is what the web view of OneNote Notebook looks like. I'm going to access all my notebooks from here. This is the Great Cleanup Drive. Right now, what you see is the Summer Pathshala assignment. Okay, so these are my notebooks lying over here, and I open up my Summer Pathshala assignment for you. Now what you will get is something like this. It will open up for you online. You have the option of working online, or you may even choose to edit this in OneNote. All you have to do is click on this icon to say edit in OneNote. There is an exemplar plan that we have given you, the one that I have shared with you. The Great Cleanup Plan is available to you, will be available to you. And these are your various icons which will be available to you for you to start working on your assignments. There is something super good that I forgot to tell you. I can actually move these assignments, just drag and drop them up and down, and they will move. I feel like a king doing all of that. Okay, so what is your assignment? Your assignment is a combination of Skype and OneNote. What we are looking at is you must use this combination. Now that you have the basics, how should you use Skype in Classroom? Design a plan to host a Skype session. Skype opens the door to several educational possibilities, can be viewed in varied ways as told during the webinar. So if you haven't viewed, again, you can view it over here because it will be available over here in the session recordings. It is now your turn to use OneNote Notebook for planning a Skype session for your class. Because what we want is when your students come back, you should be ready to create that magic. Here's a link to the sample notebook and with a suggested format lesson plan. This is what the lesson plan format might look like, but it might not even look like this. I've just given it for you to for your reference. You may or may not use it. I will repeat this. You may choose to use it and you may choose not to use this. The assignment must be submitted by 13th of June 2016. That is, when you come for the next session on 14th, you must have completed this assignment a day before. So on 13th of June, before the end of the day, 12, at night, midnight. Okay, but you can send it till 13th of June midnight. That's like excellent a framework. So these are some of the sections that you can explore. Project is something that we will work towards the end, that is on 18th. I'm going to discuss this project with you, but of course I know if you know that you have this access to this, you are going to access it. But I might decide, I'm yet to decide actually, whether to send you only this section. Well, that's another power that I have. I can choose to only share this section with you instead of sharing the whole notebook. So I'm going to share this section with you, and you might not have the access to rest of the plan. I will evaluate this before I send it to you, and in popular demand we might send it to you. The session recordings will also be available to you. Any which way, this whole of this notebook will come to you on 18th of June, but for right now we are going to share only this section, but this and the lesson plan page will come to you. So all the pages within this section are going to come to you, so no worries at all. I know there are going to be plenty of questions around this, so this session is now open to question and answers. Please shoot. Well, can we password protect the sections in the pages? Yes, you can password protect each and every section and each and every page of this document. Any other question there? Wow.
What is linking to?
What was that?
What is an inking tool?
What is an inking tool? Inking tool is built within your OneNote notebook, like I showed you. On the top icon, you will see on the top ribbon, you will see one of the icons that is labeled as draw. You go to draw and you can start inking. Inking means that you can start using those pens, using your cursor or your touchpad on your laptop. All that is what you can start doing. Any other questions there, Jyoti?
How to create student notebooks.
How to create student notebooks. Excellent. Okay, now that you ask, I'll show you, but this is going to be a little off because this is going to take a little time for me to show you. I will very quickly try and visit that very slide to show you how to do that. Okay, so while you're here, the class notebook is actually an add-in into your Office 365 icons. When you pull down those cluster of dots, what class notebook is just about an icon, like I showed you in a slide. Let me take you to that slide actually and show you where it rests here. So if you look at this, this is the Office 365 interface. When you look at it, you will see this icon over here, which the one marked in red. Well, that's how your class notebook shows. Once you click on it, the class notebook lets the teacher quickly set up a personal space for every student, a content library for handouts, and a collaboration space for lessons and creative activities. All within one powerful notebook. Just imagine. I mean, it really seems as if it's going to be those 40 students in the class and you have 40 sections, but it's not that bad, I'm telling you, because there are super simple tools like these ones where you can actually assign your notebook from within your class notebook. You can assign pages, and at the end, it's just about a click, and in your section, what we'll have to do is we'll have to have another session on this because it's a little longish. But what I can show you is that this is what my students learning plan looks like once I create a class notebooks. So students can work together while teachers provide real-time feedback, share lesson plans across your department with shared notebooks. Use the OneNote staff notebook also as a central place for administration, like meeting notes, professional development, and modern class observations by leaders. So leaders really don't need to sit anywhere. Oh, before we go anywhere, let me tell you, that the biggest boon of working on this is that there is no save button. I'm surprised nobody asked me that. How are you saving this all and it's still showing each time I go back? Let me tell you that there is no save button. OneNote automatically and continuously saves your work while you take notes whenever you switch on or to another page or section, and whenever you close sections in notebooks. There is no need to save our notes manually even when you have finished them. Let me show you something. I am going to close this. Okay, no, I haven't shared my screen. One second. Let me just share my screen to show you this, because this is a biggest boon, because most of the times what we hear from people is, oops, I lost it. I worked, but I lost it. So this is a OneNote notebook that we were working on. I simply close it. Okay, let me open it once again, because I closed it too quickly and you haven't seen it. So I'll open it once again. And as I open it, somebody needs to hold my fingers because they're moving too fast, because I think we are moving towards the end of this session. Therefore, I'm very conscious of the time. Anywho, I had closed it while you were away and I did not save it. But here I am. Everything is in place. Everything exactly where I left it. Therefore, what I'm going to do is I'm going to be more naughty and I'm going to close this again. And now I'm going to go to my start button and I'm going to access it again. When I open this, it's again going to tell me that it's cleaning up, because I am not actually giving it time to sync and I'm closing it again and again. But it really doesn't matter. Why it doesn't matter is because it's going to bring me back to exactly the page that I was working on. Voila, the page is on. So that's how you create magic using this tool. Any other questions waiting over there?
I wanted to use if they can use for languages.
Well, for languages, I thought I showed you some language pages, but yes, it can be used for just about any subject. We use it for biology, physics, chemistry, geography, Hindi. Oh, I use it for Hindi too, by the way. I wish I could show you a Hindi notebook here, but I promise to bring it back to you next session when we are here. I'm going to show you a language. I'm going to show you using Hindi on that tool, and you can use English. You can use any, just about any. Yes, chemistry. I see a lot of science teachers here. So yes, chemistry, physics, biology, and just about any subject that you want to. This is like a notebook. So whatever you write in a notebook or whatever you write in a Word document, you could write here. Whatever you make on a PowerPoint, you could do here. Whatever you make in a PDF, you could do here. It's as simple as that. You could be sharing one page, you could be sharing one section. You will see that, because what you will be able to access is just one section. Any other questions if we have captured there? Well, yes, of course, Sharda, I completely agree with you that practice makes a man perfect. So therefore, today we are going to give you a chance to practice what you've learned. For the last 2 sessions, you need to submit an assignment before you come into the next session, that is on 14th of June, which will be titled Storytelling. Okay, let me see what it'll be titled. Have I got all that I forgot the name altogether? Well, who remembers the name? This is a challenge for you. Come on, people, capture. Try and remember what we were talking about.